Welcome to 30 and Nerdy. My name is AJ.
You miserable piece of human garbage.
I'm Brady.
Shit minion.
My name is David.
Jiminy Thinger.
And this is our post E3 coverage. I know
So that
everybody
means,
and their mother has been doing it, but we're doing it as well. So
that means all of our adrenaline has been spent, all of our dopamine has been spent, and now we're depressed.
I know this is like this week is my most favorite time of the year, but then by the end it's I love it so much that I hate the week because once E3 is over, I just have
like,
this huge It's
Remember how good E3 was?
yeah.
Do you
2 days
remember, guys?
Yesterday.
You remember how good it was?
And
So
this
I'm just-
year was pretty good, I would say.
I fully agree. This is the first year that I had the entire week off for E3. Usually when we do these things, I'm playing catch up like the day of recording.
Yeah.
This time I actually got to sit there and let it stew and everything else, and then I don't have notes because my phone's dead. So I'm still going to sound like I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But David's the man. He has games written down, and Brady seems to have comprehensive notes as well, so I'll be able to bounce off what they're saying.
Okay, so I tried to today. I went through each conference again and just quickly. So I may have missed a few games because I just hopped up like 10 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Because on the Xbox, for whatever reason, it wasn't loading, so I couldn't see pictures, which made it a lot easier. Like when it gives you the kind of frame by frame. So if I missed a game, please forgive me. But if I missed one for Electronic Arts or Square Enix ones, who cares? Who
cares? You saw them in every other.
Most,
yeah, especially Squeenix.
Yeah, Squeenix I heard was a big butt fucker,
yeah.
and I full open, full frontal nudity here. I did not watch E3. I heard that they only featured
Square
like
Enix?
a couple games. No, also wait, they featured Square Dicks.
Wait, you said you didn't
E3.
watch E3.
Oh, I'm sorry, I
No,
meant
they
to
said
say
Square Enix.
EA.
Oh,
I didn't watch EA this because it was just like an hour and a half of shit that I didn't give a fuck about.
I watched it just because I wanted to be able to talk about it and see exactly what was going on. But
I think the only thing I may have wanted to talk about out of it was Anthem, but right now, I mean, just like we discussed in the last episode, where I don't need another Destiny right now.
Yeah.
Well, and we'll get to that because that's the last game. But EA started out with Battlefield 5 with a really crappy trailer. I thought it was very.
God.
And they didn't really say anything about it. They didn't talk about Battle Royale, which I'm glad because I don't.
They did.
They
did.
did.
They said Battle Royale.
Oh, okay, they said it has Battle
It was
Royale.
like the
but-
last thing out of their mouth.
And watching the worldwide reveal like 4 weeks ago, and I'm like, all right, let's wait till E3 and see what it looks like. And they didn't show anything.
Yeah, it was like they had a snippet of the little story where they threw the kid off the bridge or something, and that was
and
about the only added.
it was like 1% better than not knowing anything.
But the EA, I just felt like the EA conference was really like people usually say that the Ubisoft conference is really cringy and just EA knocked that bad boy out of the park.
They did.
That was
with the kid.
with
him.
everything. With
And
everything.
The girl hosting it, I'm sure
Yeah.
she's a nice woman, good at what she does, but she had horrible scripts handed to her.
She had nothing really to work with because EA had nothing to. It just was.
Yeah.
All they had were games that you already knew were going to be annualized: FIFA,
Yeah.
Madden, Battlefield, and I mean they had a few like Battlefront 2. So I mean it's nothing really new under the sun besides their like one or two indie games like Unravel 2 and Sea of Solitude.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
It certainly is.
But then they talked. So then the second game they talked about was FIFA 19, and
For a long time.
yeah, FIFA and Madden got a lot of time. And I mean,
It's
I wonder.
the biggest sport in the world, so that makes sense. But
Yeah, I was
especially
gonna
with-
say.
with the World Cup
wonder.
coming up.
I wonder
Yeah.
if it's just something where it's like Americans don't go nuts over FIFA. I've never met a single person that's like, "Yeah, I play FIFA."
I have a few
I
friends
fuck
who
with
play
FIFA.
it, and they love it. But I mean, it's either, it's just one of those things. There's a couple of times, it's a couple of games where people, I might get into it, I might do it, but it's either you love it or you hate it.
yep.
And it's, I mean, because if you love football, then you'll play it because you want to be in for either the like the PES leagues and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
I'm
Then they-
indifferent.
I am too. EA streaming game services, the Origin Access Premier and their new,
Look,
basically EA access.
I hate the fact that to be able to play EA games like
you have to have a separate streaming service.
yeah, my wife plays like the shit out of The Sims, so it's required for me to have Origin on my fucking computer. So Origin and Steam, and then I think Good Old Games wants to put one out, but I don't want it. I just go to your website.
Yeah.
I don't need it.
And then, I mean, because it's the same thing with Blizzard. They have their
Oh yeah, and then
Battle.net
Blizzard
launcher.
has a launcher. It's just stop, please. Can we not?
See, Blizzard I don't mind as much, and because I mean Steam and Blizzard it's okay because Steam has basically almost everything under the sun.
and Blizzard's
Blizzard's-
Blizzard proprietary.
Yeah, so it's just very
Um,
streamlined on what they have.
And then I feel like EA just was sick of third parties selling their games, so they're like, well, if Steam
Yeah.
can do it, I can do it. Well,
We
the
want
thing
more
is
money.
that Steam isn't really a single party seller unless they're doing Half-Life
Yeah.
or Left 4 Dead
Portal.
or Portal. Exactly, Team Fortress.
Well, the thing I don't like is, at least because I haven't used Origin in a long time, but back when I first bought that computer, so probably like 5-ish years ago, something
Mm-hmm.
like that, came with some Batman or something like that games, and I needed to have it on Origin, or I had some game that I needed to have to get from Origin, and I just didn't. It wasn't very intuitive. Like Steam
they
is very easy to access and get through, and maybe just because I messed with Steam for so long, but it seems a lot easier to work my way through Steam than Origin. Just seems backwards.
So a long time ago, back when Origin did launch originally, that was a huge issue with it. It's gotten a bit better, and they try to keep people using it by incentivizing with 2 free games every month. But they're usually either like
Some of their like
a game that you played 20 years ago and is like, oh, I'll play that again, I guess. Or, I mean, like
Only because it's free would you get it.
yeah. So that's essentially what it came down to. Like, is like, oh, cool, I got a Pagel for free from there, and then I got Theme Hospital. Everybody's jumping for Theme Hospital. And then, but I did get a free Dead Space game from there as well. So I mean,
every once in a while they get a gem.
I think once a year you get a gem, and then the rest of the time you get just a bunch of little poop particles, poop particulates from EA's Origin. Fuck you, Origin. Stop. Just put it on Steam.
So then we had Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order from Respawn Studios.
That part was uncomfortable to watch.
The whole entire, I mean, that was par for the course on the whole entire thing. It just was one cringy interview after another.
Yeah. Let's talk to this guy from Respawn who's sitting trying to watch the show and squeeze in next to him.
Because like he was there last year and he was talking about Titanfall 2, and then this year, I mean, why even? It's just like having Square Enix have their whole entire conference. Why talk to him when he's not on the stage? He has not even any concept art is up. He just has a name, and then it's being pushed at like 2019.
They're
so
probably
not
working
this
on
Christmas,
the
but like
base
next
code
Christmas
right now as we speak.
Just don't
Stop.
announce it until you have something. Which
Anything.
I mean, we can definitely talk about one other developer that did announce something that, I mean, at least they had pictures to show.
Yeah. It wasn't
A
just
picture.
like, here's the name of the game, on to the next one.
Yeah.
But see, I don't know. If it was, because I think we're talking about Bethesda.
Yeah.
And Bethesda's conference was, I thought for the most part, every conference has their little hiccups where they're just like, no, that didn't go very well.
Oh, like the whole Prey section
Yeah, but
with those two,
I liked
and
that.
then
I found that endearing,
he wrote that like not a mimic, and then he put it on her,
and then it fell off.
but he looked so weird putting it on her. Like, can I put this here? Is this touching your tit? Is this not touching your tit?
Just don't.
Just here, it's on you now. Hey, you're not a mimic, and then it just. And then I love how the camera just followed it and just like hovered over it while it was just sitting on the ground. I was like, "Thank you, cameraman, man of the year, right there."
But no, because I think that Bethesda, their conference was a lot better done. So there's a lot better will towards, okay, this is a game that they're showing us because they have stuff. They don't have anything like prepared today besides to say, hey, here's this future thing. This is what we're kind of working on. Here's a little bit about it. On to the next thing. I'm okay with that. Whereas this,
not to mention the way that they dropped it, where it's just like, oh yeah, this too. Bye, have a good night. And it's just like ES6. So,
and so everything from the EA conference was just really cringy. So that's just one more thing. We're like, well, put that onto the pile of dead bodies over there of everything that's been crappy about this conference. The next one was Battlefront 2, and they talked about having the Clone Wars generals and stuff like that.
As a fan of that game and a somewhat fan of Star Wars after all the Star Wars shit we've been getting, I'm kind of excited for that because I really like that era Clone Wars stuff. It's neat.
Oh, and sorry, I did want to say one thing about the Star Wars Jedi of the Fallen Order. It's supposed to be set between 3 and 4.
Yeah.
In the timeline.
Yeah, and even that when she asked him, like, when's it set? It's like between 3 and 4.
Because I mean,
what movie do you remember seeing the Jedi get killed, lady?
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm assuming she's not a huge Star Wars fan.
I'm guessing that it's like right before.
She's a girl with red hair. Of course she likes Star Wars.
It'll be somewhere like before Rogue One. So
then we had Unravel 2, which I mean I never got to play Unravel 1, but I like that they had the same guy up there and he was a lot more confident this year than he was last year.
They just like fun little games.
Yeah. And I just, even though I don't like EA as a whole, I enjoy that they give a lot of the kind of third party indie studios a chance to be on that kind of a stage and get that kind of exposure to.
Mm-hmm. I saw online some article said, here are all the games you're going to say neat and never play, and that is in there. It's like, oh, neat, that looks cool.
Well, that's just...
It's kind of true.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Let's see. Then they had Sea of Solitude, which was from the German developer, which was just like the Unravel.
Sea of Thieves?
No. But Sea of Solitude it's a indie developer that EA is kind of doing just like with Unravel 2, and it's about something about being lonely, and in this game, the lonelier you are, like that's when part of your subconscious turns into a monster or something like that. It looks like because there's you, and then there's a giant you that like eats you or stuff like that.
That's cool.
Yeah, the developer lady said she wrote the story about dark times in her life.
Yeah, when she was at her loneliest, and so this is kind of where that game was born out of.
Sounds pretty interesting to me. I mean, I'm going through like the darkest period of my life right now.
There you go. Sea of Solitude for you, AJ.
I could definitely say that turning a darkness into something creative and beautiful is the best thing you can do.
Turn that frown upside down.
Don't kill yourself.
That too.
Yep.
Too much has been happening.
Then we had Madden 19, and we had the most... I don't even understand why we had the kid. Because who's the guy, the wide receiver from...
I don't know.
I think it was
Selleck.
No, it was Juju something or other. I can't think of his last name.
Juju Boojibu.
No.
It's a good pulse rifle from Destiny 1.
But
Bad Juju.
But some wide receiver, I think, from the Giants. And if I was him, I'd be like, why am I up here with this kid who plays Madden and
does
who
anybody
didn't go to his...
even like the Giants? Is that how they got the Giants? Oh, I'm sorry, New York guy. You love the Giants.
No, I like the Buffalo Bills, the only team that plays in New York. The other two play in New Jersey.
It's true.
They over in Jersey. Get out of here.
I mean, it's right across the bay. Or you can see New York from...
Just spit from them.
But I thought just the whole entire thing was just... Like, the kid didn't go to his graduation because he wanted to, which is fine. I don't care about going to graduation. But just that he was like, I'm chasing the paper, the dollar bills or something like that.
By playing Madden. Hey, good for you,
Good
pal.
for you, kid.
But he seems like
if that's how you
kid
can
seems
make
like a
it,
douche because they showed him like a couple times where he wouldn't even shake. I mean, and wouldn't shake the hand of the person who's playing. It's like, you're playing a video game. Shake his hand. Who cares?
Yeah. And he's like, I hate losing more than I love winning. Okay, I don't like you.
I have that soundbite. It's going in right now.
Awesome.
I hate losing way more than I love winning.
I've been good. You still recovering from that butt whooping?
sweet.
Then we had the Command and Conquer Rivals, which was...
So I got so excited. I was like, Command and Conquer's coming back. And then they're like on the phone. And I'm like, no.
I mean, the game looks okay, but it should have been something. It should have been something that was tacked on at the very end. Like, hey, thanks for coming to our conference. We're going to have a showing of Command and Conquer Rivals right now.
Yeah, but they had like 2 pro gamers come out and sit in chairs and phones and play it, and then they had a color commentator commentate what they were doing. It's like, what? Why? And I don't know if
I miss original Command and Conquer.
I don't have any desire in mobile games. I don't see my phone as a gaming platform.
The only time I have it is I
Play like
want
Scrabble.
I want some games for when I have to sit someplace and I don't want anybody to talk to me. Then that's when I'll have like a few games that I enjoy playing.
Maybe.
So that way they're
So
just like, oh, he's on his phone.
I'm the
not
odd
gonna...
one out of you guys. So I actually have like a controller for my phone, so I can play Max Payne on it and Bard's Tale.
But see, that's real games.
And well, yeah, and then I'm going to be playing the new Elder Scrolls when it comes out on my phone. I'm going to be playing, and yeah, the thing is that like I have like Grand Theft Auto 3 on there because it's the only Grand Theft Auto I ever want to play. You know, well, it's nostalgia, you know. So, there are good games on mobile devices. I can totally understand why you don't want to play them on mobile devices, and it's because of the input issue.
Yeah.
Now with Asus, they've made a mobile gaming phone, and it's pretty fucking legit. And I kind of want one. It's not, and it's better than the Razer phone. So I think if you're really into mobile gaming, you should try to look up the Linus Tech Tips video for the Asus gaming phone, because like it does this thing where you swap in a part and it actually engages extra fans to cool your phone.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
And everything else. So I mean, and then it hot swaps it to like, so it's only in this mode only. And then they have like pieces you can actually attach to it that'll be controllers that plug into like ports. So I mean, it's really cool.
I think the way I'm looking at it is they have purpose-built portable gaming things.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, well, those are for playing games. This is for internet stuff. I don't know. I think it's just all in my head.
Yeah, I could totally get where you're coming from. I mean, well, it's like
I just
me.
don't get those kids playing games on their phone.
That's why I don't want to buy a Switch, because to me a Switch is a sit-at-home game device, and then people are walking around in public playing them.
Yeah.
And now Nintendo's pushing it as a mobile device instead of,
I do think that's kind of cool.
because they're killing out the DS, and I'm a big fan of the DS, and it really pisses me off that now it's just going to be
I'm not,
tossed in
because the only game I
garbage.
ever remember playing was your Brain Teaser one, and I always played at like 2 o'clock in the morning. It's like, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. You should be sleeping. Shut up, game. I'm playing you right now.
Don't tell me what the fuck to do.
Your brain will be better
Which-
if you sleep for 8 hours. Shut up, game.
All of
Stop telling me what to
E3,
do.
all of E3. Can I just point out, if you're one of those stupid little cocksuckers that yelled out shit,
Like which one?
Okay, so like when the guy like sat down with the banjo to play the song from Last of Us,
Uh-huh.
Freebird.
Oh yeah.
And then also in the Sony one, like it's all like pre-order today, and it's all like, don't fucking tell me what to do.
Yeah.
It's just like these stupid assholes in the crowd trying to get their 1 second of fame, and it's like, I instantly hate you. I wish I knew who you were,
the guy I
so
hate-
I could come to your house and shit on your porch.
The guy I hated was the Bethesda guy who had the headphones and the sunglasses on and wouldn't smile for anything. I think he smiled at later on in the show, but like for the first half of the show, he just like,
I remember seeing that guy. He was epic serious gamer.
yeah. And I can't remember what it was, but it's probably somewhere around like the F Nazis that maybe he smiled, like cracked a ton, like half of his mouth went up, or like just a little bit. All right. Anyway, we're on EA.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Last game, Anthem, and I don't know when you have to have the guided tour that they gave us, and not just giving us, hey, here's some gameplay, because I mean it's coming out soon.
February 22nd, 2019.
Yeah, so I mean it's right around the corner from us right here.
Well, I think
And
they did
that-
that because a lot of people were like, "Oh, this is just going to be pay to win, loot
I know,
box
and-
galore,"
but
and they think they wanted to sit down and show people. It's like, no, that's not what this is.
I know, but the way this made me feel was no confidence in their game. Instead of showing us what the game was and saying, hey, microtransactions are only cosmetic. You're not going to be able to buy anything. Here's some gameplay footage, actual gameplay footage, not pre-alpha, not beta. But beta, here's what we're planning on doing, and here's some kind of cool stuff that isn't scripted crap, that everything goes perfectly. But you just show me the game instead of walking my hand saying, "Hey, this is going to be a good game. Hey guys,
Yeah.
this is going to be an amazing game. You're going to love this experience. We can't show you anything right now. We are going to answer these questions that are pre-selected
Yeah.
to show how great this game is going to be. You are going to love it. We are the Donald Trump of video games. We
It's
are
gonna be
amazing."
huge. You're gonna love it. We're gonna build a wall around it, so then you're stuck in there. Anthem, play it.
But I think that I'm hoping that it's because it just like, even though I said in our last, not the last one, but our first initial predictions on E3, that I want Anthem to be good because it looks like an amazing game. But I'm afraid that when they did this, that this is kind of showing me some red flags of I'm not sure if this is going to be a good game, and BioWare has had some kind of crummy.
Oh yeah, lately
has not been of amazing quality.
Andromeda. What
Andromeda,
a pile of trash.
Which, I mean, that is definitely a good issue to bring up, is that and that's at the fault of EA.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you always kind of have to be wary whenever EA kind of reaches into something. I feel the same way about Activision. I don't like Activision reaching into games either. But Activision teamed up with FromSoft for their new game, the Shadows Die Twice. So, who knows?
Anyway, so that was that conference, and I think that was actually worse than the Square Enix conference, because at least the Square Enix
Showed games?
showed games, and it didn't waste your time, because you're like, oh, this is an actual conference. I don't have to watch this if I don't want to. Whereas EA, you're like, oh, maybe I might get something, and then you watch it, and you're like, I got nothing.
Nothing.
Football boy.
Yep.
All right, so on to the next one.
Why do the football man stand down?
Okay, so next one was Xbox, and they had a crap ton of games.
Yes.
Dude, Xbox was really surprising for me. I was pretty floored about it. I was like, yes.
So we're gonna try, because since there is so much.
50 fucking games.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of them were cross-platform, so they may have been shown at PlayStation as well. So
Yeah.
I mean, but Halo Infinite was the first one.
Look at the thing that's biggest on my sheet.
Halo Infinite and 5 exclamation points.
I put exclamation points for things I want. Really bad than the question marks. I don't know.
Why is there big penis written on there with exclamation points behind it?
There's.
I knew where you were going, and I love the fact that he was looking everywhere. Was like, "Where's this big dick and ball?" By the way, I'm going to interject here.
Quality.
For dinner tonight, we went to Pizza Ranch with my grandparents and my dad, and it ended horribly. But
no.
my grandpa went to go get ice cream, and he's like, "They're out of cups." So he comes over with a plate, and he made a big dick and balls with it. And I don't think he meant to. But man, when he sat his plate down, me and my dad both just started cracking up so hard. There's just big old fucking cock and ball on the plate, and my grandpa's just sitting there like, they have really good ice cream here. It was so great. And then my dad and my grandma got into a huge fight, and they were yelling in the Pizza Ranch. And
Like yelling?
yeah, and like I'm just sitting there like, I feel like I'm 6 again, and my parents are fighting. And Lola's like, what's going on? And KJ's like, oh my. And then my dad just got up and stormed off. Then my grandma's like, you have money for us? And I was like, oh yeah, here's your $200. And she's like, bye. My grandpa's just like, well, I guess we'll see you later. Love you. And I'm just like, what just happened? Apparently, my grandma keeps wanting to talk to my dad about this this guy that moved in next door that's actually a transsexual, and he's black.
Oh no.
So he's transitioning to a female, so I guess it'd be a she. And my grandma's just like a big racist bigot, and she's really pissed off that there's a black trainee living next door, and
your dad's probably like, who cares?
It's exactly what he said. He's all like, I'm fucking sick of hearing about it. She wants me to like applaud her or something, and I'm just sick of it. So that's why I told her to fuck off. And then I was like, well, do you want to come over next week? He's like, oh, it's Grandma's birthday. And I was like, are you sure you don't just want to come over next week? And he just laughed, and he's like, no. Sorry, I had to tell that story. Just the plate cock and ball though was fucking grand, and my grandpa was a Navy man, so maybe like subconsciously is like, I remember this dick from the Korean War, big whitey.
Anyway, back to Halo Infinite.
For me, seeing that they built a whole new architecture for the entire game, which I can't remember. Slipstream? Is that what it is?
Slip space.
Or Slipspace.
Like their drives.
Yeah, so it's built all on Slipspace, and to me that looked like CGI graphics for like a video, and that was gameplay. Because the detail was fine as shit. Like, if you look into, like, the smaller things, like the Warthog, you can see, like, the particle effects of the dirt coming off the Warthog. You could see all the details of, like, everything on the Warthog. There wasn't really anything blurry there. The buildings that shoot the lasers up looked beautiful.
Just the landscape in general.
And then when they pull back and finally pull back and you see the full Halo...
And then I did like how the music kind of starts to play right then.
Yeah, I thought it looks beautiful.
That was Halo 3 music.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to playing a new Halo game.
Fuck for it.
Brady came over and we were watching the Xbox one, and he just turned to me and goes, "It's 2018, and I'm excited about a new Halo, and I'm just so happy about that."
Yeah, because Halo 4 and 5 sucked big turds.
Thanks, 343. So hopefully they learned and they realized we just want basic. Just don't. I don't know, man. I just hope it's so good. They better not put ADS or
they better not
sprint running into
sprint
this game.
Doesn't belong in Halo. If you think it does, you're fucking wrong.
Well, because didn't he always just run?
Yeah, you just
sprint. Master Chief runs at the speed of 30 miles per hour
at least.
30 men.
The thing is...
30 men!
30 men, the fastest among them. That's how fast he runs. But Halo was never meant to be this fast-paced dodge. It's supposed to be you go in, you just have to be better than the person shooting at you.
Yeah.
And granted, you do just jump. All the time.
Or you do what Luke and I did when we played. Because I think we did ODST together and we did Reach.
Yeah.
Or maybe 3. I can't remember. We played... And we played on the hardest difficulty, so one of us would hang back, the other person would go up and do as much damage, die, get spawned next to the person, and run back in.
Yeah.
I remember playing like that with you as well.
That's how I beat Legendary Halo 3 with a friend.
I like it when I play with people who have the same kind of mentality where they're like, oh, this is so boring. I don't care because I'm spending time playing with people who are,
It's not that boring. Like, you're making progress, and you're making sure that you are safely moving ahead, and you don't get save locked into a pre-death.
And nothing is worse in Halo than when you're playing on the hardest
Halo's
difficulty.
Checkpoints is still something that hurts hard in my heart.
Yep. Like
Whereas
Halo 2 Jackal snipers.
Well, or the worst part is when you're almost to a checkpoint and then you get sent 15 minutes back.
Yeah.
Oh, that's even worse. What's worse is right when you hit the checkpoint, and that's when a tank is shooting at you, and then it's like checkpoint reach, and it's like no, and it load, and
then you put it down for a day and come back.
Now I have to start over.
So is there anything else for Halo? Or
I mean, I'm excited for new Halo. The fact that he has Halo 2/3 looking armor. That's cool.
Mjolnir. Mjolnir.
And I don't know what the game's going to be, but at this point I'm excited just off.
So here's the bad part. I don't think since you didn't play 4 or 5.
I played 4, not 5.
So how much of the story are you even? We're gonna have to like find out the story somehow. So
it's not that hard. You can go on to YouTube and find somebody who has.
Or we can play it.
No, I'll watch it on YouTube.
I just wanted to do that because I knew he'd.
If I can find a free copy, because I'm not giving them any of my money for that game.
It's free on Xbox Game Pass.
Nope.
Which is only $1 right now for a couple more days, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't. I have 2 gigs free on my hard drive, so I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, not everybody has a 3 terabyte hard drive.
Yep.
AJ.
So the next game I'm really excited for because it looks amazing, and I saw this on like some of those YouTube channels that will just put a bunch of kind of upcoming in 2019 trailers of games.
Yeah.
And this one looked amazing, just by art style, kind of side-scrolling, the 3D graphics.
Are you
Ori
talking about?
and the
Yeah.
Will of the Wisps.
Will of the Wisp.
That one looks so good. The story,
pretty.
I mean, just the graphics alone make me think it's going to have an amazing story, like a Journey or something of that nature.
So
just has
when I first saw it, I was all like, "Oh, just a game trying to get by, looking cutesy." But then I was like, "This game looks kind of fun, actually, and it looks like a beautiful 2.5D scroller."
I
Yeah,
know the
and
first game is on. If you Google top 10 best Xbox games, it's going to be on every single one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But it just looked absolutely gorgeous, and it looks like a lot of fun. In the story, if it is anything half as good as what it looks like, I think it'll be an amazing game.
Another indie that was shown at Xbox this year that I'm interested in, Tunic. It's pretty much looks like Zelda, but with a fox.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
So I think that game looks beautiful as hell. It's kind of got like that weird like top down-ish look, almost kind of like a cocked Diablo 2 angle, and it looks like tons of fun.
You are jumping about 17 games ahead right now, but yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, we were talking about just like a small development team.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason why I brought it up, and it's one of the few games that I remembered that I really want to play.
That
It did look
super
amazing.
fast sizzle reel they had of all their indie games. There was one looked like it was in a desert, and it was super. It looked almost like hand drawn graphics. I don't know the name of it, but it looked really cool. So there's that.
Yeah.
Continue.
We
Sorry,
may come
Dave.
across that. No, you're fine. I was just giving you a hard
I
time.
highly doubt it. They showed like maybe 7 seconds of it.
Excuse me.
Which, when we get to their development teams that they were talking about, we'll get to that when we get to it.
That's coming up pretty soon. Because a lot of the games that we'll be talking about are ones that are on other conferences as well. So, I mean, we can't talk about it now if you want to, or we can talk about it later. But the next one is Sekiro Shadows Die Twice.
Yeah.
And that one looks amazing. This one is
excited.
probably, out of the two Ninja games, I'm more excited for the other one. But this one, just I think stylish-wise, the other one just has a lot more. This one's a lot more kind of gray palette tone, which still beautiful like the wheat, and being that little kind of off.
It looks more colorful than any other FromSoft
Yeah.
game
I'm not-
that's been out.
I'm not talking about like FromSoft. I'm just saying like the other Ninja game that we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
I just think
I totally understand.
because
Because
especially
that other one you were talking
Oh.
about, just when they're fighting amongst
Yeah.
each other in the leaves.
because
Yeah,
I think
ugh.
each of those is like hand put in there, and that is just oh my word, that was beautiful.
Leaf physics have never been better.
Thank you, Future.
Yeah,
I never knew I wanted leaf physics. It was really funny when I was talking to Brady about fall mode in Forza, which, you know what? I'll just wait till we get to Forza.
okay, but yeah, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice looks really amazing from Soft, so you know it's going to be good. It's going to be hard. They had some let's play or not let's plays, but they had some behind closed doors, and then like PlayStation Access and some other people talked about what they had seen, and that the FromSoft developers had said that sometimes dying actually is not a bad thing because it'll set you up better than if you had stayed alive, but that it still is FromSoft's game, so it's not going to be easy, and dying is not always going to put you in a
Yeah.
good place that it
Right.
may every once in a while.
I'm glad that they're taking that mechanic from the Souls and the Bloodborne game, and they are kind of changing it. That was one thing I was really worried about with them abandoning, especially that they abandoned Dark Souls, because they're not making Dark Souls anymore. Though I wouldn't be surprised if a Dark Souls 4 came out in a few years when they need some money. But for right now, I'm really happy to see that they're just not like, well, Souls worked for us in the past, let's just keep going with Souls.
Yeah, branch off and implement.
Not
things
to
from
mention,
that
like
game.
they had a lot of good IPs in the past. You know,
Oh, yeah.
they had Armored Core, which was like top tier mech game. They had Tenchu Stealth Assassins, which was a top-tier ninja game with sneak as a major factor in it. I think there needs to be more sneaky games, too. I think you said that as well. I would love to see more hardcore stealth games that actually took stealth to advantage instead of just making it a one-trick pony.
Yeah, that's why I wanted a new Splinter Cell. But
Yeah, and I was kind of surprised we didn't see anything from that. But and I mean, that was an Xbox, so I figured that this would have been the conference it would have showed up in. But
Yeah.
it did not. So next one is Fallout 76, and we'll talk about that Bethesda, but still, that they came on there. Todd Howard,
Game Dad.
Country Home,
Yeah.
Country Road, take me home.
So then the next one was The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit, I believe is
Yeah.
the title.
Is
And that's
the Rick and Morty one?
No, that's the one that you were
Life
talking
is
about.
Strange.
The Life is Strange one, where it's the kid who's
Oh yeah, where it's like
making stories.
Yeah, I even said this to Brady earlier as well, where I kind of want to play it because it looks like just like kind of going back and taking back your childhood and just kind of reconnecting with your inner child. Like for me especially, like I take life way too serious right now, and I just need to find a way to disconnect from playing hard and heavy games and try to do something that's a bit more lighthearted.
Well,
Though
not
your
even-
dad is an alcoholic, so who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
But I mean, not even lighthearted, but I think just having a great story that you can sink yourself into and see yourself in some way, shape, or form. I mean, in the
'Cause,
vein
yeah,
of like
as a
Gone
kid-
Home or Life is Strange.
As a kid, that was definitely me. Where it was, I would imagine these great epic battles, and really, it was just some toys that I was playing with. But in my head, it was this giant, beautiful universe I'd created.
I did that with The Matrix.
Are you being serious?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's fine
I
then.
loved that movie.
Yeah, it was.
Still do.
Yeah,
First and second one, not the third one.
Correct.
the third one's better than the second.
We've already talked about this. We'll talk about it again later, but not right now.
Okay. Yes, Dad.
So then we had Crackdown 3, which already either right before or right after got a delay.
Crackdown 3
Again?
took longer to make than God of War.
But either way,
So it's not
Horizon
February
Zero
anymore?
Dawn.
Not as far as I could tell from what we were watching right before you came here, and we were watching something, and they had said that Crackdown had been.
I need to
Push on
know
again.
what is it about Crackdown 3 that it's in production now longer than it's been in production longer than Duke Nukem Forever. Seriously,
Has it been?
yes.
My goodness, it has Terry Crews, so that's all I really care about. I
Old
just
Spice body wash.
Crackdown 2. When did that come out?
It came out right after the first one. It was like a few years.
This first one was 2007.
Yeah, 2009 on the 360. And I remember people bought it because you got the beta for the newest Halo. And that's when I saw Sprint in a Halo. And I said, hashtag not my Halo.
Amen.
Besides the hashtags were to think back then, was it?
Pound signed.
Star 67 not my Halo.
So then we have after that Near Automata become as gods, and I think it's just that this
Butt
is
Automata. Look at butts.
It's on
Robot
Xbox now.
butts.
yeah, because it just is being ported over.
They're beautiful
brought over
butts.
from just because it was
Yeah.
a PlayStation exclusive or something like that.
I'd still like to play that game.
It was. I played the demo on PS4. And it's pretty fun. Looks. I mean, it's your normal Japanese game, but just in kind of
Butts.
an action, non-RPG.
Yeah.
The butts look amazing in it.
Uh huh. Then we have Metro Exodus, and that
Looks
was
cool.
kind of. I don't know. Because I have the first two games on PlayStation. It's just I really wanted to play because I wanted to get the story, but just there's so much to slog through. It's like I just don't care.
Artyom. Yeah.
Just I'd rather go get the books and have them.
All I know is that the reason I know about these games is because I used to watch this guy named Kryken who used to play a lot of games, and he used to do lots of funny things, and he would chop them up and make movies with them. And when he was doing his Metro stuff, like there's a kid who's all like, "I'm so hungry, just one bullet." So like, oh, this kid wants to eat a bullet. Oh, I am Artyom. I will not give you one bullet, though. You're gonna starve for today.
Because I think in the games, bullets were cash, basically.
Yeah,
if I
essentially.
remember.
Yeah, ammo is pretty much money because you could use it to kill.
Now, if you want to, we can talk about this here, AJ, or we can talk about it as the only game for the Square Enix conference. But Kingdom Hearts for Xbox was then announced.
The Xbox one that they showed was kind of crappy.
Well, it was basically the same trailer for PlayStation, for Xbox, for Square Enix.
Xbox's was actually different than PlayStation's.
I don't recall that. It looked roughly the same.
I think it looks cool because it has Hercules and Toy Story in it.
And they're going to the Frozen place.
You know what? I've watched enough Frozen where I don't mind anymore.
Yeah, I don't care.
The joy of having kids.
The only thing, the movie that I dislike right now is Ferdinand, but that's just because my kids love watching that one.
We don't put that shit on in my house.
Whereas
I don't know what that is.
I don't know either.
it's the John Cena, he's a bull.
John Cena!
And like the movie I wish they would watch is Leap, because I like that one. It's about the girl who wants to go to France and dance.
Should show him Blade Runner.
Lola loved that movie.
I'm like, do you guys want to watch Leap?
Yeah.
No, we want Ferdinand. Dang it.
No, that
I'll give you the final cut of Blade Runner. You can have
Yeah.
You might enjoy it.
here you go, kids. Time to learn about replicants, you little shits. Daddy,
anyway.
I could see forever.
But Kingdom Hearts is coming to Xbox.
It looks
okay.
fun.
Honestly, from an Xbox player, for years I was only an Xbox guy, and I felt bad missing out on a lot of the Kingdom Hearts stuff. And then when the console wars went down, Xbox really shot itself in the foot. I'm pretty sure everybody can agree with me on that.
Oh, yeah.
Where I instantly went back to PlayStation. Not to mention PlayStation had Bloodborne, and I needed Bloodborne in my life. So it was nice to be able to get a console, and I have like all of the original Kingdom Hearts games. They had them for sale as like a huge kit that you could buy. So it was like, all right, I'll buy this, and I've been playing through them here and there whenever I have free time. Lately, not really, because all of my time goes to Destiny, and now I have somebody ask me to play Warframe with them, and then I got ESO as well. So I have kind of full plate. But as an Xbox player, I think it's really cool that you guys are going to be able to go back and relive a lot of those games and just enjoy those games. They're fun.
You'll be able to play number 3. I don't think they're, as far as I know,
No,
they're
they
not
said they're going to do
re-releasing.
1.5 and 2.5, didn't they?
That was at the PlayStation where they're remastering or doing the
Those
remixes.
are already remastered and put out.
Or they're doing like remix or something. They just, I don't know.
They're already out. You can buy those right now. I think what they're saying is you could buy all 3
Yeah.
in one.
But they showed it at the PlayStation conference. I didn't see it at the Xbox conference as far as I can remember.
I could have sworn I saw on the Xbox splash screen that they were bringing the 1.2 or
And they
1.5 and 2.5, which if that's the case, I highly recommend anybody that is staunchly an Xbox player who's a fan of Disney and likes hack and slash style games, buy them and try not to meddle on it being a kid's game, because it's a lot more difficult than any kid's game.
I'm meddling on the Final Fantasy characters in it or whatever.
They're barely
See,
there,
I might
dude.
get it just because
The fact-
my daughter might like to
The
watch me
stuff
play.
they
And
showed
it's
at
only
the
Final
end of
Fantasy
the
VII.
PlayStation one, I'm like, who are these stupid anime characters that are? I couldn't give a fuck less about them.
So the ones in those are actually part of the Kingdom Hearts.
Okay, it just
Series, yeah.
the
They're-
second
guys,
they're on
those-
screen,
those
it's like,
humans-
this part looks so stupid.
Well, because you have to imagine like this is all worlds interconnected.
You have to
with
drink the Kool-Aid, Brady.
It's Flavor Aid.
Flavor Aid, not Kool-Aid. Nobody drank Kool-Aid at that motherfucking compound unless they went out and bought it, but they couldn't because it was the People's Temple and it was a communistic society. They drink Flavor Aid.
Sorry, David. You didn't know you were walking into the lion's den. No, I'm gonna play it, but I'm gonna hate every second with those stupid anime
I don't
characters
think
on
you
the
will.
screen.
I think once you start really getting into the story of it and just try to enjoy it, that's
I'm gonna try.
I think the hardest part for people who who don't play RPGs, and I'm going to use Brady as kind
Do
of
it.
like the every person for that,
Because I hate Japanese games.
is that they don't want they don't understand the story delivery method to where it's a lot more just text thrown at your face, and it's kind of written kind of cutesy-ish, but at the same time you're looking at a game that like surpasses all of Disney's empire. So
That's all I want is a game with my favorite Disney characters in it.
and you're gonna get that, but you're also gonna have to deal with like the Heartless and like the secret society that goes with that and shit. And they're not even part of Final Fantasy. The only people from Final Fantasy are Cloud, pretty much people from Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 8, and that's it. There might be people from 9. I have no fucking clue. I've never encountered them. I think you should go into it and not think JRPG and just think Disney role-playing game.
And probably a decent story, too.
This story is really good. It's really insane. Has lots of branching outcomes as well. Like, all the games end the same, but like
The way you get
the
there.
implications, the way you get there, and then the implications that what your character does and what it does to all of the other they're essentially planets, but galaxies within the Disney universe is pretty big and intense and insane. And it's just, I don't know, it's a lot of fun, and I think everybody should at least give it a chance and try to overcome the power to be like, oh, it's just some kiddie game. All right, pedophiles play this. You're not a pedophile if you play it.
I'll just have to wait and see.
See, I'm thinking about getting it just because my daughter saw the preview for it. She's like, "Oh, princesses," and I think that'd just be
That's
something
one
fun for her to
thing
sit down and.
As well, it's one of the few games I can play that Lola enjoys watching.
Yeah.
See, my kids will watch me play almost anything, but most of the things I play, I can't play in front of them because then they'll be like, "Oh, why'd that guy's head come off?" Well, because Daddy chopped it off.
I do play Destiny.
Why'd you do
and
that?
stuff.
Because he's looking at me funny. Don't look at me funny, kid. Go to bed.
Listen up here, boy. boy. Go to bed, boy.
Okay, so we have Kingdom Hearts. Next one was Sea of Thieves, and it was the DLC, the Cursed
It
Sails
shouldn't be a
and Forsaken
DLC.
Shores.
It should have just been in the game.
Too little, too late.
Next,
Next was Battlefield 5.
who cares?
Next after that was Forza Horizon 4.
This looks
Yes,
fucking amazing.
this looks amazing. So, of course, like there's like the whole like, ooh, let's drive through the different, and there were so many inconsistencies when they were driving on ice because everybody who lives in the Midwest knows you're not driving that fucking McLaren on ice. It's not happening. You can't do that over a pond. That
yeah.
car.
There are some cars that can do
will
that because
die.
I remember when they were shooting the first James Bond movie with Daniel Craig that they had to give it like stock tires because the Jaguar or whatever car they had was handling too well on the ice. So they had to give it crappy tires so that it would react like a normal car instead of like a high end amazing.
Pirelli makes really good snow tires.
Yeah, I guess.
The
so.
idea is to keep snow in
But
the
yes,
tire.
a
to grab
McLaren
snow.
would not. You would go nowhere in a McLaren.
Yeah, exactly.
Any of those cars.
I think
But-
that when you go to, if you can order McLaren Senna, that one of the checklists is, I will not drive this in the snow. It should be.
But I really liked watching the whole tech demo that they had of it with the real players. I don't think they were real players.
No.
I think it was just a bunch of assholes acting like they were playing games.
Like on Devolver.
Like Devolver pointed out, which when we get to that conference, man, we will get to that conference.
But the thing is with like car game demos, like I don't want to see some jack off playing. I want to see the prettiest cinematic
Yeah,
video you
show
can
me
give
cars.
Give me,
'Cause here's all I
give me
care
Top
about.
Gear car visuals where it's just like
Beautiful
follow the
angles,
edges.
yeah.
Look
Yeah.
at this. Look at the lights go flash.
Yeah,
Yes.
give me LED lights. Give me fog.
Yes.
Give me some rain.
Oh,
Give me some slow mo flying
David,
around a
I
corner.
can only be so hard.
But it was so funny when they were driving through fall. They started dropping leaves.
yeah, the leaves were really cool.
That was
And
cool.
I was all like, those leaf physics are really good. I really hope that they up in reality with those leaf physics and actually put bugs on those fucking leaves. and then all I could think about was just like leaves falling on the people inside of the place, and there's like ants and shit crawling on. They're like, ugh, and it's all like, "Welcome to the fucking fall in the Midwest, you asshole." There's a beetle in your hair.
See, the only thing I really care about in racing games is because I don't mind open world racing and stuff like that. Because I really like the Need for Speed, whatever the first one was that came out.
Did you play Forza Horizon?
I haven't played it in a long time, but I have played it.
It's so good,
Dude, it's
and
brilliant.
it's like super open.
But all I care about is, do the cars look good? Do you have upgrades that I can slap on the car? Do you have races I can run repeatedly so I can then buy those upgrades for the car
Yeah.
and then not play it and buy a different car and upgrade it
Yeah.
and buy a different car and upgrade it?
That's
That's all I care about.
That's Horizon.
Yeah,
In a
that's
nutshell.
Horizon's
Yeah,
entire
and so that's
thing.
all I want with a car game.
Yeah. And,
Which also Playground
cinematics.
is now a subsidiary of Microsoft. So
Yep. And that is the next thing. So we had Forza Horizon 4.
Mm-hmm.
Then next thing he came out and talked about was all the studios. The first one was the Initiative, where they created a new studio, which I think is kind of being like
so
Santa Monica Studios or something like that.
when
for
me and
PlayStation.
Brady were sitting there and he's all like, the Initiative, and everybody clapped. Brady goes, "Yay, let's clap for something we don't know about." They didn't show a single thing that company's doing.
No, it's a brand new development.
Yeah,
crew,
'cause it's-
too.
so-
we don't know what it's doing.
I think it's
With a name like Initiative, they better be doing stuff like hack and slash games.
or like spy, espionage, stuff like that. I don't really care what they do. I think they're just trying to. And I was talking to AJ earlier about this, about how they're trying to set up, I think, for the future with the Xbox 2 or whatever they're going to end up calling it. That
The Xbox 360.
but that they're trying to set up these in-house shops like PlayStation has, Naughty Dog or whatever. You
Yeah.
have Santa Monica Studios or Bend Studios, and just having all these kind of in-house. These are going to pump out because all they have right now is basically Halo and Gears of War, which I mean are great games. Don't get me wrong. Well, at least they used to be good games.
Well, they have Rare,
Eh,
but they're not doing anything. I mean, the last thing that they built was Sea of Thieves, and
Good game. It's just nothing to do.
Yeah. And so I think they're trying to set themselves up as, here we're going to have our first party Xbox exclusive games,
Yeah.
and because they need to branch out, because basically Halo and Gears of War are the same. Just
Yep.
one's first person, one's third person over the shoulder.
How buff do you want the guy to be you're shooting aliens with?
Do you want to be able to see his muscles, or do you want him to have a shield?
Yeah.
Do you want to chainsaw people or bash people with the butt of the rifle?
Yeah. The one thing I'm worried about is that it won't give these development crews their own creative freedom. I hope it's not just like regimented. You do this, you do that. I hope they're like, hey,
Well, I really like
what ideas do you have?
because they picked up. Then they talked about let's see here, Undead Labs, and that was the
I could care less.
No idea.
I'm so sick of zombies.
Playground Games, Forza people.
Yeah,
They said they're working on a different open world thing.
Yeah,
yeah,
is cool.
which is neat.
Yeah.
This
Uh,
one, this
'cause
one
they
is
know
going
how
to
to
be.
build an open world and make it look fucking beautiful.
This one is going to be a really good studio, I think, to have, and especially if they let them with hands off. But the Ninja Theory, the Senua's Hellblade Senua's
Yeah.
whatever, that game.
I never
got
played
to,
it.
I never got to play it, but I watched people play it, and the story, and the visuals were amazing because this is an indie studio having amazing facial capture,
Now,
and the story for it was awesome, and it was all about this girl going
wasn't
through
that-
like a mental disorder, depression, or
is that what that would have? I
Yeah.
thought it was about the Aztec Empire.
No, she was, I believe, if I remember correctly, in like the Viking-ish area.
Did it play like Dark Souls?
Well, I couldn't really, because I mean,
Oh.
I didn't play it.
I
just
might
watched
have to
somebody
try to
play it.
find a way to play that. And
But
see
I'm excited
how
for
I
that
feel about it.
because I think that will be an amazing one. Then there was Compulsion Games, We Happy Few, which is coming out August 10th, 2018.
Finally, thank you, Jesus. How
So
long
I'm-
do I have to wait for this fucking game that
And
I've
that
been wanting
one-
to play for like 2
Yeah.
years?
A
That
couple
game
months.
looks amazing. So I think this is all really good for setting up stuff for the future of having first-party, in-house good games that only will be on the Xbox.
Because that's always been Microsoft's problem.
That was the Xbox problem, especially this
And I guess
generation.
they do.
Oh,
they do
yeah.
have
Because-
Forza and Forza Horizon, but I mean,
Because when Xbox came out, like to me, like the original Xbox was pretty much on par with PS2. But then when it came PS3 and Xbox, like PlayStation didn't really have much that I wanted to touch. 360 had all the games I wanted to play.
Well, and
360
back
was
then,
the way to go.
360 got all the stuff first, all the DLC content
Yeah.
for everything first.
Yeah, and
Then it kind of flipped for PS4. Then everything started going to PlayStation 4 first, and then
so I mean, I would like, really in a real world, what I'd love to see is all of these companies coming together to create just one beautiful console that I could play any game that I want to play on and not have to worry about exclusives, which I understand exclusives drives the price of the consoles down, and that the business model for that like is a weird teeter-totter thing.
Because they don't make money off the consoles.
Yeah.
They make money off the games.
Exactly.
and the services
So-
that they provide.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, in a picture perfect world, we would just have a really nice console, and that's it. And then I know there's a horde of gaming players out there right now. Then like PC Master Race, PC Master Race, PC Master Race. I don't give a shit about you guys. First, I think you're a bunch of assholes when you say that shit. Because nobody likes Nazis, you fucks. Second off, you know, PC right now is one of the most expensive things to play on right now because you people don't know how to fucking regulate your fucking video card prices.
When right now on BestBuy.com, you can go buy a brand new Xbone S for $250.
$250, dude.
And it's going to play
Same thing
everything
with the
you
PS4.
want. Yeah.
You could buy a brand new PS4 right now for $250. You can't even buy a decent video card for that right now.
Unless you're lucky and find it on the secondhand market.
Or, yeah, if you find some idiot on Facebook who's selling a GTX 980 for $250. For one component of your computer, you're going through a RAM shortage. There's so many negatives right now about playing on PC that completely pushes a lot of people away, and your toxic fucking whole group of PC Master Race assholes doesn't help either. I'm sorry I went off like on a small tangent there.
I will point out that a lot of times when there's a politician who's like, I hate gays, but then they turn out to be gay themselves, I think that AJ is actually telling us that he's a PC Master Race person. I'm going out on a limb. It may be on CNN later tonight that AJ is found tapping the stall of another PC Master Race person. Hey guys, hey,
You got any
Want a snoodle?
CPUs?
you got any new processing? Do you have a Ryzen? Do you have a Ryzen in there?
how many cores do you have?
I need 18 for everything.
Uh,
No, like I do play video games on PC.
yeah,
But my main way to play video games is on console.
yeah, and I think that I don't know, I just because something tailor made. I know you can make PCs tailor made too, but
Here's
something that
what's
is-
tailor made for PCs.
Yeah, it's a video game
RTS
box.
games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
RTSs are perfect for that. Though now with Xbox's new controller,
yeah, which that was really cool.
you're able to plug in a mouse and keyboard and play with a mouse and keyboard.
Nice.
It's built to have that support now. So we can start getting RTS games, and they're not going to be pure garbage if you buy this peripheral. I don't understand why you need to buy a peripheral when there's USB ports all over the thing that I could just plug my dick into all of them, you know?
Money.
Yeah.
Hit me, David.
All right, so PUBG
Sorry.
is our next one, and who cares about that?
Yeah.
We
This
talked
is-
about PUBG on our last podcast.
Hey,
so.
people that play PUBG, new apps.
New apps.
New maps.
New
New
maps.
maps.
Good.
And I'm
happy,
hoping that
yay.
finally, since they're giving a date, this might mean that it's coming out of beta and it's just going to be a real game that actually works on the Xbox instead of
Don't
coming
hold your
down
breath.
and then, hey, I'm going to run into this house before the walls spawn and get everything.
Yeah.
No, it's going to be a Pinocchio. It's going to come out thinking it's a real boy, and it's still just going to be a wooden doll.
Then they had Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition. I was like,
Yeah. I thought you would be interested in that
I kind of am, but I mean,
because, like,
my gaming
that
dollars,
was like a hardcore Dreamcast style game.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. It's just that with the amount of time I have.
Oh, so like how I was talking about earlier, where it's all like my gaming dollar or my gaming value versus real life dollars just doesn't work out for it.
I mean, just like Brady's list of, oh, that's a great game, but I'm not going to play it because I just don't have them. If I had all the money in the world, sure, I'd buy everything and then be like, well,
Don't have
I'll
time.
stay up for 48 hours and play all these games, but
There's still last gen games I want.
yeah.
Exactly.
Then they had the Division 2.
Looks neat.
I was at the precipice. I was like, this looks good. I know it's in the Xbox when they had the very procedural like they did with the last one, but at least I know what I'm getting when I'm going into it this time. About it looks a lot more like the Division than what the Division trailer didn't look like the Division when it came out.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
And,
hey guys, let's go to Air Force One. All right, on my way.
But I was looking
Cam,
at
you
it.
need to level up. Yeah.
But when I was playing it or when I was watching, I was like, I don't want to get it, but I want to get it.
I think my problem with the Division is when I look at looter shooters, I like, why are those people? Why do they have different health bars than another enemy in the same game when they're just dudes? I think I prefer sci-fi looter shooters because, like, oh, that alien obviously it's big, so it's got a really big health bar.
It makes
just makes
sense.
sense.
It's just not a higher level dude with no hair.
That thing has a shield on. Of course, it can eat more
Yeah,
bullets.
but it looks.
But when it's like humans, and it's just like
yeah, it looks a lot
I know,
cooler than the first.
I know
one.
just
Yeah.
how fragile you are to get. If I get shot with one bullet, I'm
Oh,
going
yeah.
down. I'm gonna cry.
I'm gonna.
There's no way in hell you're gonna just be like,
Oh man, I got shot.
Because even if you have a bulletproof vest, you're
Fucked.
gonna feel it.
Yeah.
oh, it's like getting punched in a titty nipple.
Next was the Xbox Game Pass.
Yep. Which I'm actually I apparently paid for a full year of it when I got my Xbox. I didn't know that. So I've been taking full advantage of it now. I went through and looked at all the games. There's tons of fun games on there.
Yeah.
I want to play. Bayonetta's on there right now. Whoa, shit, yeah.
And I mean, Fallout 76 is going day one on there. I mean, tons of the new games are
They
coming
said
out,
almost
all
every release is day one.
yeah.
yeah.
So
So I mean, it's,
I'm gonna have
even at
games.
even at
Yeah.
$9.99 every month. And do they have like any other larger tiers? Like if you go out, does it get cheaper? But even if not,
Yeah, that I
'cause
think
what
I
is it,
paid like
$108
Like
a
a lump
year.
sum.
I think I paid $40 for a full year.
$108 that you'd pay for a whole entire year for, 50 games. We'll say that they have on there right
And that's
now, but
less
it's probably
than
more.
two
That's
day one
yeah,
games.
that's 2 games in a year
Yeah.
that you could get. Because I mean, they have Elder Scrolls Online right now. They have that new The Undead Labs game. I can't think of what it's called right now.
They
but-
also have right now on there. They have Fallout 4.
Yep.
Dead Cells is going on there.
Yeah,
too,
Dead Cells,
isn't
I
it?
Dead
did see
Cells,
that.
The
And that-
Division is currently on there
Yep.
right now for free. Which I might pick it up and just try it out,
Yeah, 'cause
so then I can see how horrible it is, and then be like, all right, delete.
I did like how the Division is going to have, at least for year one, all the DLC is going to come out for free.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I probably would not have been as far back behind if I had paid for the DLC when my friends had it, and then they just kept on going. I was like, well, I don't have it, and I don't feel like now I've waited so long that it's not worth getting.
Yeah.
But
That's one thing that has come out this E3 that I'm really happy about is the amount of free DLC we're getting from different games.
Yeah.
Where you're not dividing the player base, or you're like, oh, well, I'm not going to play this game because I'm not getting the full experience.
Except for
Destiny.
Call of Duty is still
Yeah.
doing that. I was really excited when I saw the Black Ops 4, which of course there's no way I'm gonna get it. But if you pre-order it, you get the best classic maps.
Yeah.
From Black Ops,
and
like
you get
1
it on
and 2.
Black Ops 3 right now, and you'll get it on Black Ops 4
and,
when it comes out.
And I was like,
But if you don't,
okay,
fuck you.
so, but if you don't pre-order it, then you'll never get a chance to get those maps. Like right now, I'm feeling pretty miffed with Destiny because the only way to get these masterwork pieces to make your exotic masterwork is to get rank 50 with each of the 3 subclasses. Well, they only do 3 of those events, so you have to grind to 50. Well, I didn't have time to grind to 50 with the first one, so now I'm gonna have to be like, all right, well, what's the second one I'm gonna get? And then I'm gonna have to grind out through this one, and on the last one, I'm gonna have to make sure I really grind it out to 50, or I'm screwed. I don't like shit like that where it's just
Big grind fest.
I don't mind a grind fest. I don't like it when it gets locked out
Forcing your hand.
because you didn't have the time for it. And I mean, I played World of Warcraft. I end game rated, and I understand time commitments to loot and I understand all of the economy that comes with that and
Well,
the
but still.
hardcoreness of it. But even then, I still didn't feel like it was that much of a stressful ball for me back
Well, because
then.
the loot lockout was based on you. It wasn't based on them telling you you have Monday to do it and then it's gone.
Yeah.
It's you have the servers reset. You have until next Tuesday when the servers reset again.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a time limit, but it's based on you.
And then it would reset weekly.
Yeah, which isn't bad.
Yeah.
Also, the Division 2 is gonna have raid.
Yeah, 8 people raid, so that'll be kind
8 people. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
of. Next one was, and they also did say that the Game Pass is going to load 2 times faster. They're working on it, which I think is kind. I mean, it wasn't a like woo, let's cheer about this, but it is a kind of a feat of saying, hey, we're doing these services to make things better for you guys.
Right now,
Yeah.
the way it is, like, I think ESO was a bad way for me to show it off to you. But I was downloading Fallout, and it downloaded like maybe a tenth of it. It was ready to play. I could have started playing right then, made my character, probably went through the first.
And by the
little
time
bit
you're
of the
done
game.
making your character, the rest of the game would have been downloaded.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Welcome to Fallout.
I spent 45 minutes making my Elder Scrolls Online character last night.
That's half the fun of the game. Even though
Yeah.
you're like, hey, let's put this helm on so you can't see that face that you just spent an hour.
I'm
and a
gonna
half
tell you what,
making.
like,
But I know I look good.
my
underneath it.
my dad, he's one of those people who's gonna make the ugliest character you can.
Just max out everything.
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
nose is all the way out to here, and it's got rainbow colors
Yeah.
in it. And he's like, I don't give a fuck. What are you even playing? I'm a Nord. It's not a Nord.
My dad did
You
that
look
with
like a
Tiger
mutant.
Woods.
Say what?
Tiger Woods.
You know what's funny is my dad, when we were playing Tiger Woods back in the day, he made a character look exactly like me, and then he made one that looked exactly like him, and then he would dye his hair different colors and wear funny hats.
Yep.
Meanwhile, I was very prim and proper in my chubby golf gear.
Your Sunday best.
Yeah, my Sunday best.
All right, so then the next one is Shadows of the Tomb Raider, coming
Who
out
cares?
September 14th. It'll look kind of interesting. I wouldn't mind watching somebody play it. I wouldn't play it myself, but I wouldn't mind
Same.
doing like watching it. Let's
I've
play
never
of it.
liked Tomb Raider games.
I like the universe.
I like the newer ones.
settings.
Then we have Session, the skate
Oh
game.
my god. Me and John were watching that, and when we saw a skateboard, like, holy fuck, holy shit, it's
I thought it was
Skate
gonna-
4.
that's what I
It's
thought it was gonna
fucking
be
Skate
Skate.
4. And then we were at 100, like maxed hype, and then
Then they came out with the name.
I never went from 0 to 100 to 0 so fast. Like, yeah.
So here's the fun.
It's not
Now this
Skate
is going to be
4.
an
Uh,
Xbox exclusive.
Cool.
Not only that, but I was watching a video upstairs. I think David was like running around doing something, and they were talking about that they're going to keep the same control system of Skate, so it's all going to be stick system.
Oh, good.
So it might actually be something worth
Spiritual.
checking out. A spiritual
successor.
successor, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Next one was Black Desert, the MMORPG. I was
I don't even
Eh.
remember that.
Oh yeah, you do. I think we were talking shit is about that chick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
that one didn't really
Eh.
do it for me. One
I'm
way or
so
another.
sick of MMOs.
Devil May Cry 5. That one I've never got into the Devil May Cry, so
I used to play them back in the day, and they're really difficult games. They're about artistic fighting.
New one looks fine.
Then there was Cuphead, the delicious.
Yeah,
Last
you know,
Course.
I love Cuphead. I have a Cuphead shirt. I'm a really big fan of Cuphead. It'd just be really nice if I could actually beat it.
Same. I'm still in the first world.
So I'm not hungry for that,
That DLC.
or I'm not thirsty for that DLC yet.
Then we have Tunic,
Yeah,
which was the next one.
that game looks beautiful as hell, and
Yep.
I'm looking forward to playing it.
Then came Jump Force with the Dragon Ball Z, Yu-Gi-Oh, kind of all those different characters
Shonen
tied
Jump
in.
world.
Death Note.
It looks fine, but,
Yeah,
the,
but it's
it's
not-
got the name is terrible.
Yeah, just like with the Yu-Gi-Oh fighter, I just don't care.
Yu-Gi-Oh Fighter.
Or the
Yu-Gi-Oh wasn't in it.
Dragon Ball Z, I mean. or not
you
Yu-Gi-Oh,
mean
but,
Goku.
No, that was not Yu-Gi-Oh, but what's his name?
Marvel versus Capcom.
No, kid with the whiskers. And the
Oh, the
orange.
One Piece.
Like
Oh,
a headband.
Datebayo.
No.
Believe it.
Naruto.
Naruto, there we go.
I was letting you guys keep on going because this was just fun to me.
I haven't watched any of these shows in so long.
I used to watch lots of Naruto.
Hey,
I did too, back when
anime
they had it on
fans, you got a game now.
I'm not excited for it. Yay.
Dying Light 2 was the next one.
Who cares?
Looked kind of interesting, but like Age and I were talking about, that they keep on promising that this is going to change everything, and this decision is going to kind of trickle down and have the butterfly effect, and it never really has.
Trickle down anything has never worked. Look at our modern economic system. Thanks, Reagan.
Just Cause 4, that one also. I just
It's
didn't.
neat. Those games.
I
are
don't
always
like
fun.
it just because.
Yeah. I mean, I would play like
God damn it!
I got Just Cause 3, but I mean the only reason I play it is because I got it for free, not because I actually wanted to play it.
Yeah.
It seemed too gimmicky to me, where I'd be like, hey, I can stick all these little charges onto a cow and have it fly up into the air. Explode.
Why would
That's
you do
about-
that? Just because.
Yeah. That's basically it. That's the whole entire.
Why'd you
That's
leave your
the-
keys up on the table? Just because.
That's the point of video games, is to have fun, and I want to stick explosives onto a cow.
Then the best troll award goes to
Epic.
Xbox and Epic when they had the Gears logo pop up there, and everybody's like, oh, and then like the Funko Pop guy comes out there. It just the whole entire like excitement. Went, zoop,
It was
gone.
like you could audibly hear a balloon deflate.
And then they keep on going, and then we're going to bring you Gears Tactics, and like these are none of the things we asked for. And then they're like, and then we finally are going to give you the most up to date Gears to date, Gears 5. And then it was like, we can finally cheer.
So, Funko Pops are the biggest waste of plastic this century has shown. It's the dumbest fucking thing in the world. I have a Funko Pop. I did not buy it. I got it for Christmas. I keep it where? At work. And I'm never at work, so I never see it, and I'm happy with that. And if somebody stole it, I wouldn't cry. Funko Pops are fucking gross, people. Stop buying them. When I see your giant Funko collection, I instantly want to come out, find where you live, and shit on your board.
All right, then the last one for for Xbox was Cyberpunk 2077. And this one, from everything I've seen, because they had a 50-minute demo for behind closed doors for a lot of the gaming elite, or basically the reviewers and YouTubers and stuff like that. But it sounds amazing. You're gonna be able to drive a car in the game.
Woo!
Even though it's gonna have 6 different kind of districts, they're trying to make it very heavy. It's gonna be a lot like Dread, where you're having those.
This is the heaviest disc I've ever picked up for a game.
You know what I mean, like dense in population
Yeah.
and stuff to do in areas.
Kind of like the first 3 Star Wars, like episode 1, 2, and 3. They're just so dense. Every frame is so dense. So many things happening.
I've never heard of this game until this year E3.
So actually,
It was last year when they had
I've heard about. I've been reading about it for a long time. They got in trouble for a while because they used the name Cyberpunk, and then they settled that out of court. CD Projekt Red is technically a small developer, pretty much an indie developer that makes big, beautiful games.
The Witcher.
Who gives a shit?
Me,
Exactly.
the only
I
one
don't.
of us that matters.
I don't care about Witcher games.
We know.
So I will wait and see, and if it looks worth me touching a controller and pushing a character forward, well, then
And who knows,
I'll
it
tell
might-
you what.
It might pop up on Game Pass.
One thing, I just hope that it's not a convoluted system like Witcher was, because when I tried playing Witcher 2, the only way you could heal is you had to go into a certain stance, and then you had to do this and this, and then you could finally use a healing potion. And I'm like, this is just a bunch of fucking contrived bullshit. Why can't I just hit
I don't
square
think this
and
is
drink
gonna
a
be
potion?
The Witcher.
No, it's not going to be The Witcher, but The Witcher 3 did a lot better because you could meditate to get your life back, or you could just eat like a Fable and be like, hey, I have 8 million chickens. And so you're
that
fighting
just
people.
reminds
You're
me
fighting
of
8 people
the,
with swords while you're
how,
chowing down. on
how
a-
many wheels of cheese do I have, Alexa? 800.
Eat all the cheese.
Eat all the cheese.
Remember your lactose intolerant. Eat all the cheese.
all the cheese, Alexa.
I ate all of the cheese.
When I was watching that before they said anything about cheese, I'm like, how much bread do you?
That's what I was thinking. I was like, how many?
So, the best thing about that is They didn't announce it, but that's a real thing you can use on Alexa. That Alexa has Skyrim.
Yep.
You start as a level 55, and then you play it like a old school mud.
I like it. All right, so for Xbox, best game the Xbox had. And I think we'll go with non-cross-platform.
Exclusives. Okay. I'm most excited about New Halo.
Halo.
Or I guess, if you want to have a non-exclusive, because if you'd rather play it on Xbox than PlayStation 4.
I only would rather play on Xbox because
It's an exclusive.
the controller is better than PS4's.
Halo.
I think for me, Ori and the Will of the Wisp just looks so darn beautiful.
You know what?
I had to.
That game does look beautiful.
It just looks so sad and somber, but just so, I don't know.
Just watching the backgrounds go
Yeah.
by, it seemed alive. And most 2.5D scrollers.
Like
it's
I'm really
static.
I'm really excited about Tunic. It clearly struck a chord with me because out of all these games I saw, it was the one I could really remember the name of. So I guess for me in the Xbox class, I'm gonna go ahead and go with Tunic. I'll let Brady have Halo because he is our Halo head.
Yep.
And I think this is where we're going to end this one, because we've talked a while for the first two, and then we'll keep.
Oh, I thought we were just gonna do one big episode.
Well, if we're not going to, I don't want to have like a 3-hour thing where we can also just
You
cut
mean
it.
5 hour?
More than likely.
Our way of life.
But this has been 30 and Nerdy. My name has been David.
I guess my name has been Guy Face.
I'm Master Chief Brady. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Life is all there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, blowing like the breeze. Country road.